So how we feeling? You know, all my 90's babies are parents. They're parents. All my 90's babies are parents. How are we feeling about that? How how's everything going? I'm just checking on y'all. I just want to know. I just want to know. I'm just checking on y'all. I just want to know. You know what I'm saying? How's everything going? You holding it down? Everything cool? I hope so. I hope so. This shit ain't easy. At some point, I think I'm born in 92. So at some point we gotta sit here and look at each other, right? Look each other in the mirror. Look ourselves. Let's look at ourselves. Look ourselves in the mirror, and we gotta say, damn, how's everything going? Being a parent, you know what I mean? So I looked myself in the mirror. I don't know if you all had this conversation with yourselves, but if you haven't, you should. You should try it. But if you did, let me know if this is write in the comments if this was similar. If you had this similar conversation with yourself. I said, damn, Chris, what did I say? I basically said, you don't know what you're doing. I basically said, damn, Chris, you don't know what you're doing. I thought being a parent, as long as I was making money, everything gonna be good. That was my mindset when it came to having kids. My firstborn, I said to myself, man, as long as I'm making money, we're gonna be good. Ain't shit to worry about. We good. Bro, being a parent is deeper than being able to provide financially. It's way deeper than that, man. It's way for I'm telling you, for some reason I just thought that if I had money, as long as I'm getting money, we ain't got nothing to worry about. That's not what it's about. Uh, I had to realize it ain't about what you can give your kid financially. It's about what you can give your kid intellectually. And you know what? I found out too that in life, all relationships, the strongest relationships are based on what you can give the person intellectually than anything else. Uh, and that don't even got to be a romantic relationship. I know I'm talking about being a parent and kids, but it all just like that's what I'm saying. Being a parent, it just brings everything to one boil. You know what I mean? It just brings everything to one pot. Like, oh shit, like this is all just one big gumbo. All of this shit is shaking each other's hand. It's all intertwined with each other. They all familiar with each other. It's all just, you know what I mean? Like if no matter what the relationship is, whether romantically, business wise, whatever the relationship is, friendship, whatever it is, family, whatever, if you're not providing that person with intellect, then you're stealing from them. What you're stealing? Their time. So I just realized like I have to be able to provide some sort of knowledge to every relationship I get into. And I learned that from being a parent. I have to be able to show my kids or tell my kids or just give my kids knowledge. You know what I'm saying? My wisdom, my intellect, my thoughts. Give them that and see when they spend that what they're able to afford. When your kids are able to spend your knowledge, I mean they can afford things that money can't even buy. So I ask y'all again, how are y'all as parents, man? How are y'all when it comes to like really understanding your kid? Like, bro, this like my son is 7. He has an entire personality, an entire character, a mind, a soul, a spirit of his own that he's learning and he's molding. In the beginning, I tried molding that. I tried molding that into the type of little boy I wanted him to be. You know what I'm saying? Or the type of little boy I wish I was. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to mold him into that. And shit, it ain't work. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's not possible. You know what I mean? That's not possible. What I've learned is the best thing I could do is just give him my knowledge and my wisdom of what he should do, or what things should be, or what things is, or what things aren't. You know what I'm saying? That, like, I have to give him that information for him to be truly rich. He has to have that information, not the money, the information. So, and that's just one facet, man. That's like a grain of rice compared to the things that's going on with me when it comes to being a parent. Bruh, it ain't easy, man. So that's why I'm asking y'all. Put in the comments, tell me if it's easy for you and you got it down pat, man. Bravo, man. Bravo, man. If you walking into anything in life without an idea, without experience, and you walk into it prepared, you's a bad man or woman. If you doing that in life with anything in life as an adult, walking as a human being breathing, if you're walking into a new experience prepared without ever doing it before, or hearing every possible angle of it, like, bro, you are amazing. Like, I came into parenting thinking all I had to do was make money, and I had it wrong. Think about that. I thought all I had to do was make money to provide and, clothe and shelter and feed this little boy. You know what I'm saying? Two of them now, but talk about one in particular. Let's talk about my oldest, CJ. And I'm like, I named him CJ. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, like, get him to be like, well, you're going to do this, you're going to do. Don't worry about sports. Fuck sports. Don't mean basketball, football. Don't even worry about that shit. You can watch it. Don't even worry about that shit, man. Come on, look. Let's open up these books. Let's look at these books. Hey, you ever seen this? Let me show you this. Let me show you this. You ever heard about this? I was taking him to museums when he couldn't even read. You know what I'm saying? Like, we walking, taking him to all, like, traveling hours, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to a museum, the science museum. I forget what it was, technology or some stuff like that. And I'm taking him out there to look at this stuff and just to blow his mind. I'm just watching his face just to see stuff and just watch it just blow his mind, right? And he's just like looking like, what? Like, that, you can do that, or whatever, right? So, like, this is what I'm trying to mold him into his mind and his the things he, grow up to like, and, stuff like that he'd be into. And it's cool. It's working. I mean, he likes it. He wants to go back there. He's 7 now. That was right. I think he turned, I don't know, maybe 5. I don't remember, but it was a while ago. It was young. He's probably too young, technically too young to walk through the museum that I took him to. That he wouldn't really understand at that age. But I took him there. He walked around. He looked at stuff, and it was fun. They had some kiddie things in there to do too. But for the most part, I kept him where the technology and the stars and the astrology and technology and stuff like that. I kept him around that type of stuff. And he's still, but as he's being 7, and I'm looking at him like, he get in trouble in school, not listening. Some days he's having a good time, some days he's not, whatever. He's kid stuff. He's in the kindergarten. So, he gets to first grade, he'd be better, I'm hoping. He's not bad. He's not, doing terrible or nothing. It's just being a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, for me, I want him to be a kid, but I want him to also understand how important school is. Like, I wish I really understood how important school is, grade school. But he's still a kid, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, kindergarten and all this type of stuff. So I'm thinking, like, maybe if I still get on him, like, I still do what I'm supposed to do, and maybe that'll strengthen him. So when he gets to high school or middle school, then it's like, oh, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. Like, that was kid, he'd be more mature. I'm trying to mature him maybe faster than I should be. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get him to be a little more mature than he has to be, maybe, because he's 7. So I'm kind of treating him like and I kind of be on him like he's 11. You know what I mean? I probably shouldn't be. But I didn't have an older male influence to do that for me. You know what I mean? To just be on me like, hey, no, man, what you doing? What you doing that for? What's this? What's that? What's going on? I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at, as being a parent now, and I look at him, I see me, and I'm like, damn, I can be that presence that I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? It's not about being a father presence, you know what I'm saying? But just being a older real male role model, you know what I'm saying? An older male presence, not per se father, you know what I'm saying? I'm being that, but I'm not saying like just being a father to him, just being an older male presence, you know what I'm saying? To be able to say, hey, look, man, what's that, bro? Worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm doing, you know. And I sometimes I think like, damn, am I on him too much? You know what I'm saying? Being that he's just 7, or am I doing what I don't think that I'm not. Am I on him too much? Am I not on him enough? I don't know. But I see the progress, and I see my presence in him. I see that, okay, I'm around. And I believe that if somebody else was to meet my son when I'm not there, they'll see that, oh, he got somebody, you know what I'm saying? It's a guy around, it's a man around him. So he knows, you know what I'm saying? So that's cool, but I still, it's distractions in this world, parents. There's a lot of distractions in this world, parents. And you can't hide your kids from the world. You cannot hide your kids from the world. You can't. And you can't hide the world from your kids. You can't hide your kids from the world, and you can't hide the world from your kids. It's just impossible. So you just gotta home train them. Home training is very important, man. School isn't over when the bell rings. It's not. He still got to come home and learn. She still got to come home and learn. School is never over for a kid. It can't be. And that's what I'm realizing. You can't go to school for however long you're in there, then come home and then it's like whatever. No, school got to continue. If school doesn't continue in the home, then the world has your kid. The world is teaching your kid. If school isn't learned in the home, the world is teaching your kid, man. And the world can be a cruel, nasty, ugly place, and it can teach your kids some of the most filthiest things you can imagine. You don't even realize it. You don't even realize it that they learning that. You don't even know. It's things that you would look at as innocent, and but through their eyes, they're learning something that once you take the time to really check out what they're looking at, you be like, oh, what the hell is this? It's some bullshit. Like they was watching some. My both of my boys is watching YouTube. I hate YouTube. I like YouTube because but I hate YouTube for kids, man, because they were sitting there watching some videos, and this was a kid YouTube thing. This wasn't like in the account was a kid's account, and the kids that they were watching, they was just doing some weird shit. I just was like, what the fuck? It was 2 girls and 2 boys that was playing. They was playing games that the dad was bringing up, and it just was. I'm just looking like this shit is weird. The dad had the 2 boys and the 2 girls playing hide and seek, playing tic tac toe, playing games and laughing and giggling and da 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 da. And I'm just looking like, okay, obviously his dad's probably making money off of YouTube. That's why I say I like YouTube, but not for kids. But the exploitation of those kids in that YouTube video, I think Brent likes you, Katie. No, he doesn't. Huh? Yo, what we doing? Like it just I'm just looking at both my boys sitting there smiling from ear to ear, just watching that shit, just smiling. I'm like, hey, turn this shit, unplug the I just unplugged the TV because I just didn't understand why was y'all watching that like that, and why is this grown ass man sitting here doing this with these kids? Like it didn't sit well with me. So I say that to say, parenting is a school. It's a school. that you never graduate from. My mom would never graduate from parenting. Why? Because she would have to see me graduate from parenting. If she won't be able to see me graduate from no. My mom would never graduate from parenting because I would never graduate from parenting. In her eyes, until she can see me as, you know what I'm saying, this, as this man, father, you know, husband, whatever, see me as that, she couldn't graduate. And I would never actually, I mean, I can be that. I can pretend to be that all day, but it's flawed. Nobody will be a perfect father, a perfect mother, a perfect husband, a perfect wife, a perfect brother, a perfect sister, a perfect cousin. Nobody will be perfect. So you'll never really graduate from that. You'll always fail at it. You'll never really graduate. Nobody is graduating. You won't. You will always fail at it. So that's including my mom. She'll always fail at it because I won't we won't never get nothing right. Not even being a parent. Like I won't get right being just her son. Like I would never just like to be a good son. You know what I mean? To be a good person, to be a good human. You never will be. It's impossible. It's too we are born with too many flaws. We are human. So it's impossible for us to do good and graduate at that if graduation was like a thing for human life. Like you graduated, you just die. You know what I mean? Like you die never learning nothing. You know what I'm saying? Think about this, bro. We gonna die never learning nothing, really. Like because we learn that water is good for us, right? This water is good for me. Why is this water good for me? Keep me hydrated, keep my body, whatever. But why? Because that's what it's supposed to be like. It's water. Water is made of everything. Well, why is it though? Like why is that? Shit, nigga, I don't know. But it's 30 million more whys after that. You see what I'm saying? It's 30 million more whys after that. You're going to live the rest of your life never actually learning shit. Just getting opinions. You're gonna live your life never actually learning shit. You're just gonna always get others' opinions. Nothing is factual. Nothing is factual. Nothing can be proven. I'm saying things that matter. Things that matter. Nothing factual can be proven. None of us is gonna be perfect. None of us is gonna. See what I'm saying? I started this off talking about 90's babies are parents. How y'all doing? And that shit went from that all the way to I don't even know what I was just talking about. That tells you right there how I'm doing as a parent. I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best I can. That's how I'm doing as a parent, the best I can. Cause shit, man, this shit is not easy for nobody. But then you still got your own life. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a mother now. You're a dad now. What does that look like on you? What does being a father look like? A provider, a protector, a leader, right? Are you that? I'm a father. I'm a protector. I'm a leader. Yeah. I'm a full-time father, full-time protector, full-time leader, full-time provider. Yeah, I'm that. If that's what being a parent is, a father is, I'm that. I'm definitely that. Am I perfect? No. No. I have a hard time dealing with how to discipline my boys, right? Because it's like, how do you do that? How do that? How do you successfully discipline a child? And when I say successfully, I mean where they get the point. They understand like, okay, How do you do it? I'm asking. Somebody tell me in the comments. I'm asking, how do you successfully um, discipline a child with the avoidance of abuse or violence? How do you successfully just talk to them, have a conversation? I'm gonna tell you something. That don't work. It doesn't. But being violent and being abusive don't work either. So how do you let them fail and fail and fail until they figure it out? I'm saying, you know what I mean? I got a 7-year-old, bro, and I'm talking like this. So I can only imagine a 12, 13-year-old, you know what I'm saying? 14-year-old, 15-year-old. Oh my God. 16-year-old. Oh my God, man. Me at 14, shit, 15, 16, 17. Dog. I can only shit. I want to go back. I ain't even gonna go back that far because I wasn't really all that bad, but I wasn't really that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really all the way out there like that. So I say about 16, 17, 18. 16, 17, 18. 15 was introduction to the world. I pretty much ran from it from 14 below. From 14, 13, 12, 11, I hid from it. Let's go 12. 12, 13, 14, I hid from it. I hid from the world. I hid from it. You know, I stayed away from shit. When people be fighting after school, I'd be that nigga that see everybody standing around watching the fight and walk the fuck off. Walk the other way. I see a bunch of people here fighting and everybody running to the fight. Oh. All right, bro, I'm gonna holler at you. I go around, I walk my ass the other way, take my ass home. I was that tight. Why? I don't know, bro. I just feel like shit just be like dangerous. Like that's dangerous, bro. Why we possibly be like we could possibly be putting all of ourselves in like some real danger, my nigga. Like people could really get hurt. We can really watch them to hurt each other, or you know, in the streets. I just always thought like from 12 to 14 when I would see that shit in the hood or I would see that shit at school, I just be like, yo, like, damn. What made niggas so mad that they said, fuck it, we gonna hurt each other. We gonna sit here and physically go at it. Like, what made niggas that mad where they had to do that? Now, again, I'm talking from a parent standpoint. See what I'm saying? I'm talking from an older, a father, husband. I'm talking from that tax-paying citizen. I'm talking from that standpoint. But even still, back then I felt that way. Like, y'all niggas got so mad at each other that y'all gotta come here and fight. And then it never ends. The situation continues forever. It never ends because we all stuck at this school, because we all stuck in this neighborhood, and it's the only school we can go to because we can't go to schools outside of our. So it's like, what in my mind, if I'm stuck in a cage with, okay, let's say it's two pit bulls in a cage, right? Y'all stuck in this cage. Y'all ain't got no sense getting into it with each other because y'all gonna get into it with each other for the rest of y'all life. Y'all stuck here. And the more y'all get into it with each other, the more you end up stuck here. So why not come to a common ground? Hey, you know what? Boom, boom. Let's figure this out. We got to share this cage. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sense of us hurting each other in this cage. There's no sense of that. We all here together. Let's figure this out. Let's figure out what our problem is. Then let's figure out why that problem is. And I guarantee we can come to a root cause of what the problem is. And then we can attack that motherfucker. Because it's a root cause of this, of why we getting into it. And why we want to hurt each other that bad. That we want to murder each other, beat each other up, make each other bleed, embarrass each other, humiliate each other. It's a reason why for that. Let's figure out what that reason is, then figure out why that reason, and I guarantee we're going to come to a root cause of that reason, and that root cause, we can attack that root cause together once we figure out what it is. That was always my train of thought, man. That's why when I would see niggas go even watching this shit, why these niggas is obviously, you can see that these niggas is in a state of confusion and misunderstanding. And everybody around is watching with smiles from ear to ear to watch these two niggas bare knuckle fight on a concrete. Crazy. Crazy. And the thing is, we kids. We kids. Sometimes you will see adults doing it, and then sometimes, most times, you see kids doing it. We kids. And we grow up still doing it, and we the adults doing it, now as kids watching us do it. We ain't never learned to just be like, hey, what's the problem? Hey, you know what, bro, my fault. I apologize. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to offend you or whatever the case may be. Or, oh, you know what? Nah, bro, that's my fault. Misunderstanding. I thought that I died. You know, these motherfuckers, I'm tripping. My fault. Why we can't do that? Or just not have a problem at all? Why you can't just not steal from this nigga? You see that's his girl. Why you can't just leave his girl alone? It's his girl. Why you messing with her? Why you talking to her? Why you got to do that? That's his bottle of water, nigga. Leave his bottle of water alone, nigga. You ain't got nothing to drink, nigga. What's going on? Ask the man. Just leave people alone, bro. Everybody just move throughout this cage until it opens. It will never open because we stuck in this motherfucker and not trying to figure out how to open the motherfucker. That's a lot of the reason. Type of people that figure that shit out be the type of people that leave home. Everybody got that somebody in their family that got up, packed their bags, and went out the state. And then eventually others followed, but the ones that didn't still stuck in that cage, not seeing that, bruh, you gotta think your way out of situations. You can't sit still and drown in question, in doubt, in the cage. You gotta think yourself. Some people have found a way to make a home out of that cage. When you're not making a home out of that cage, you are becoming a prisoner in that cage. You have to use your mind to think your way out of certain situations. And getting out of that cage is one of them. It is not as simple as it sounds. It's not, trust me. And in that cage don't necessarily mean you gotta leave state. You gotta leave home. That's what I did. I left state. I just had to get the fuck away. Once I got away and I didn't feel like I was in a cage and I'm free, and I don't know nothing, and nobody knew me, and I'm alone, my first impression with every person I came across with, I made sure it was a solid impression. I made sure that when I woke up in the morning, when I was back home, I used to wake up in the middle of the afternoon. I wake up around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon trying to get the day started. Where we at? Because I was out all night. I ain't wake up till like, I say 2 or 3 in the afternoon, 5, depending on how tired I am, but I be out all night. See what I'm saying? Now, I'm waking up at 6 in the morning. I get up at 6 in the morning, even if I ain't doing nothing, I just get up, walk outside, walk to the store or something. I could drive, I get up and walk to the gas station, they can grab some water or something, or, I got a bunch of these little water sitting around. I grab a water or something, or I grab something, you know what I'm saying? Just get up and walk and smell that morning dew and feel that morning sun, come back home, maybe crack open a book, there's a strong chance I might crack open a book, but I'll just say maybe crack open a book and read it. If I don't do that, then yeah, I'm thinking of things to do for my podcast. I'm listening to music. I'm just up. I'm just breathing and I'm visualizing and I'm thinking. You see what I'm saying? It's just, man, so that's just for me. So being in a cage don't necessarily mean you gotta leave state, getting out the cage could just mean a mentality, a train of thought. If you down in the dumps and you just feel like, man, you looking around you and you just not where you should be or where you feel like you should be, the way to get out of that cage, that's your cage. The way to get out of that cage is to be exactly who you think you are. That's all I've been doing. And people might laugh at me and say, who he think he is? I've heard people say that about me before. Who he think he is? Laugh at me, all type of shit. But I'm being exactly who I believe I am. I'm not about to sit in my situation. If I lived in a box, I'm not gonna sit in that box and be like, oh, man, I'm in a box, man. Fuck, man. Now I'm walking around musty. I'm working around with holy clothes on, nigga. You know I live in a box. If I lived in a box, I'm walking around wearing Louis Vuitton. If I live in a box, I'm going to be who I believe I am. That's all I'm saying. I don't care what my reality is. I'm going to change my reality by being who I believe I am. That's how I change. That's how you get out that cage. You change what you believe your reality is. My dog Cookie right now, she's sleeping in a cage. Her reality is not this is not that she's staying in a cage. Her reality is that she's living in a home. And she's being taken care of. That's her reality. So she acts as if such. She don't act like if we was out and about with my dog, you wouldn't think that she had a cage that she stayed in at the house. You wouldn't even think that. You'd think she was a good dog walking around freely. Nah, nigga, she be in the cage most of the time. Not all the time, but she in there right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be the person you believe you are despite your reality. That's the only way you get out of that cage. That's the only way. That's the way I seen it done, and it worked for me. And I'm doing it now on a bigger level so I can get out of the cage I'm in now. You don't leave a cage to freedom. You leave a cage to just another cage. It's the only true freedom from the cage is death. But if you're going to be in a cage, at least let it be covered in diamonds and gold. See what I'm saying? So in my mind, every cage I leave out of, the next cage is better. And like I said, it don't have to be financially. It could just be spiritually. It could just be mentally. It could just be personally. I feel like I'm in a cage, and I might seek therapy. I might read books, and now I'm outside of that cage, inside of another cage of therapy and books. Now I feel like I'm in this cage of going to a therapist and reading books and being in me. And now I get outside of that cage, and now I'm in a cage of who I truly am, who I believe I am, being who I believe I am. Then once I get in that cage, I get out of that cage into becoming something even more beautiful, like something that I didn't even know I could become. You get to that level where you see yourself and just like, wow, you don't even want to sleep. I remember I seen as a guy on YouTube, he was doing an interview, a multimillionaire. And he said he loves life so much he barely sleeps. Like he ain't out partying and drugging and drinking, and the man, he lays down and sleeps for maybe 3 to 4 hours and get up and just yawn and stand on his balcony and live life. He loves life that much. He doesn't sleep. He can't. He's too excited to live life. When you get to that level, man, like, bro, when you get to that level, I don't even know what that level feels like, look like. I don't even know how many levels you gotta go to get to that level. I can't even sleep. I'm so excited to live. I can't even sleep. I'm so excited to live. I can't even sleep. Wow. Yo. But what can give you that? See, again, I started this off talking about how is parenting treating you. And I said that part right there, it takes you into, if you're really going through parenting, it takes you through a world of shit that all comes back to just being a parent. All of that shit is going to get thrown at your child at some point in his life or her life. And what you're trying to do is prevent harm and provide tools. But I'm telling you, there's no way to prevent harm or to provide tools. All you can do is share your experience. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can't give them the tools to fight this off, because it's problems that's gonna happen with this that you won't even recognize it. Like, it's not even, dog. It's real, man. It's real. It's real. So I don't know. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all sit with that. Think about that. Hey, God bless. Good luck to all my parents, no matter what age you are, it don't matter. I just was talking to the 90s babies and seeing how they was doing. But this for everybody, man. Good luck. God bless. Follow the YouTube channel, Break a Leg Smoke Shop, for more content. I'm out.